Hey guys, and welcome to our review for John Wick 3, Parabellum, directed by Chad Stahelski, starring Keanu Reeves, Halle Berry, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, and Asia Kate Dillon as well. My name is Scott Ellis. I'm joined here by Tim McGavick.
John Wick, Chapter 3, finally here.
Also joining us, Adam Franey.
Bang, bang. Shoot, shoot.
Bang, bang.
Punch, throw stuff, stab people.
A little gung fu action. Gun fu?
Gun fu.
Not-
Gun
not-
fu. Gun kata.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Tim, can you give us a little synopsis of John Wick 3 for the viewers?
In 1 hour, John Wick will be made excommunicado and a $14 million bounty placed on his head. As the whole assassin underworld descends upon him, John is forced to cash in old favors wherever he can in order to fight his way out of New York City and find a way to survive.
Sounds pretty suspenseful, guys.
Pretty suspenseful.
Pretty
Now, I know,
intense.
Tim, you love John Wick 1 and 2, is that
I love
right?
it. Yeah, they're really
You
good.
do?
Yeah.
Adam,
Four,
what's your
Harry four, I think.
feeling on
I like John Wick 1. I think it's good. I don't know if I love it, but I like it. I love John Wick 2.
Ooh,
Yeah, John Wick
Really?
2 blew me away.
even more.
Stepped it up big time, yeah.
Interesting. I like both the first John Wick movies as well, but Tim, let's start with you as the resident lover.
Tim Wick.
I gave them 4s, but yeah.
Oh.
As the resident, the favorite movies of all time.
You gave them 5.
Best movies of all time. Number 1 and 2 for me.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on John Wick 3? Does it continue the story?
It certainly continues the story.
Satisfying way?
In a satisfying way, I'd say, probably. I don't like this movie quite as much as the first two.
Wow.
Hot take.
There's
I
the
know.
door.
But still really good. Like, the action scenes are pretty inventive for the most part.
Mm.
A couple of the scenes, this is my issue, were a little exhausting. Where I'm like, this fight is just going on for way too long. And I'm like, I'm like actually like bored at some points. I'm like, yeah, just end this fight. Because it's just...
Like some of the Casablanca stuff?
The fight scene in Casablanca lasted way too long. Like,
The dog.
But also the glass
Cookie?
fight
yes,
scene?
those two are my main.
The Casino Royale fight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those two are my main ones. I'm like, this is too long and exhausting.
The mirror room.
Yes.
The Casino Royale.
Sequence?
Yeah.
Right. You know when he's fighting in the glass? You remember that? That was Casino Royale.
Yeah. No,
But-
that was Skyfall.
Take your
Oh yeah, it was.
word for it.
But yeah, I still like the plot. I think it's just cool how they just keep going into big
Expanding, yeah.
mythos. It's hilarious how this whole world is. It exists in this world where everyone seems to be okay with assassins because there's people getting murdered in train stations, no one cares.
Yeah, people would be screaming and
no one
running
notices.
away, yeah.
They're just like, oh, it's the assassins are at it again.
They're like wizards and witches
Accurate.
from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They exist within
exist
the
on the
world,
peripheral,
but
and you
they're using that spell to cause everyone to forget what they're seeing.
Men in Black style.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I also don't like that there's not a huge amount of resolution, I'll say.
Mm.
We can go to spoilers.
Well,
Kind of
But,
ends where it starts.
Yeah, it ends where it starts, essentially, which I was not a fan
Wow.
of.
well said.
But yeah, I still liked it. Still
Okay.
a very enjoyable movie. The action scenes, when they're not
Fun.
long, are pretty fun. And they're probably some of the best choreographed stuff we have right now. I've been watching some videos where they're John Wick's action scenes are all shot from you see a lot of distance ones, so you can actually see the actors doing stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that period in time where it was super quick cuts.
Yeah.
When the actors couldn't do it for
Yeah.
real, so you have to hide their lack of skill.
Yes.
Right.
Kind of like Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist style.
Quick cuts.
In
Where
this
it's
movie?
No, in previous movies.
Yeah.
Not John Wick.
Right.
And because they don't have the skill, but Keanu Reeves has some level of skill.
Shit.
So why not showcase that and back up, do the training, and learn how to do the moves, and
Yeah.
it looks so much better.
Yeah.
It adds so much more to the action. So, Adam, what are your thoughts
My
about
thoughts.
John Wick 3?
John Wick 3. Jonathan Wick, as some have said.
As Ian McShane would say.
I liked it a fair amount. I thought it was very fun, very entertaining. I was very satisfied with it. I'm probably leaning more toward you. Tim. I don't agree with the critic consensus that it's the best one. Like,
No.
this thing is like, critics are just like losing it over this. I think it's very good, but it's not my favorite one. Like, I still prefer 2, but I love, they keep getting more and more creative with the action set pieces and the way they're choreographing stuff. They keep throwing new stuff in I've never seen before, like the horse sequence and the dog sequence. Like, all that stuff was super fun, super awesome.
The book.
Oh my god. Shouts out to Boban.
Yeah, I wrote that down, Boban. I thought that was pretty great scene.
Pretty incredible, yeah.
Was it the first fight scene in the movie? It was, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Boban with those giant orangutan arms reaching down to his toes.
Do you know he's an NBA player?
Oh, okay.
This guy, Boban
Massive
Marjanovic,
hands, like
Yeah.
huge, like gargantuan hands.
Yeah.
was trying to just squish him. And,
He needed to go full mountain on him though, but he didn't.
He tried. Yeah.
He got mountain.
He got King Kong T-Rex. Let's put it that way. It was really fun. I didn't so much mind the exhausting fights that you're referring to because I felt like at least there's an in-world excuse. Like, John's getting older and slower.
No. I don't mean in the sense I don't care that he's slow at times. I'm
You're
like
saying-
the actual length of the fight is too long. Or I'm like they should wrap this up 2 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying. I think
But
they're
it's kinda
trying to
like-
give you his mindset.
I guess.
Of
Yeah.
Jesus.
Think
this
about
is
the
still
raid,
going?
though.
Oh,
Right.
fuck.
Some of the fight scenes in the raid 2 are extremely long.
That's a debate.
But
The raid.
I think some of the raid fights are better because, like what you're saying, the characters in the raid, they get super exhausted during the fight.
right.
And they get more desperate, and they're you can see they're sweating and they're exhausted, right?
Are the people in this from the raid?
I think so.
They are,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
It's gotta be.
I think those
Looks
two
just
guys.
like them, yeah.
Funny enough, but I think I don't know. They sort of portrayed it better in the raid. Like in this, he doesn't ever look that beat down, even though he's getting destroyed in some
Slugged.
scenes. He still moves at the same speed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not as much desperation. Anyways.
Yeah. So I kind of understand what you mean. Didn't quite bother me. I felt like there was a big drag in the middle, I will say, for these movies that are supposed to have this breakneck pace. I wasn't crazy about the desert stuff after Halle Berry. It felt a little...
Slowed it down a bit, yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm fine with slowing it down, but it has to be compelling. I don't know, it just didn't grip me. I was just okay. He's getting branded again. How many times are you gonna cauterize and brand this guy?
Tattooed.
Yeah.
Brand the tattoo.
Come on, man. That really killed momentum. But then obviously it picked back up. I thought it was satisfying, but yeah, I don't know. It's pretty consistent. Can't really call it a trilogy because obviously it's not over. But yeah, and I was thinking that going in, I noticed there was a distinct lack of marketing it as the final chapter.
Of course.
Or there was no come see the end of John Wick trilogy. Nobody called it a trilogy. Nobody said final anything.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be more Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep
People have
doing
compared
it.
it to Mission Impossible.
Really? Yeah. There you go.
As being
That's
the
another
R-rated
good
version of that
Oh shit.
type of movie.
Yes. More
They're going
grounded.
more more realistic. They're going for that stunts, right?
But yeah, it was satisfying. My big thing with these movies is they're so much better than they should be.
Yeah.
They should not be good.
No, yeah, they should
by
not be.
rights, If you look at it on paper, John Wick 1
Trash.
should not be good.
Yeah.
But they're very, very fun, well-directed movies.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think I kind of echo a lot of you guys' sentiments. I don't think it's the best entry in John Wick franchise, but
Good.
I did enjoy it. I had a good time.
Satisfying.
I especially liked that fight scene with Boban in the beginning, and also the scene pretty close after that.
Oh yeah, the knife
with
scene?
the knife throwing scene,
Oh,
which I thought was very well done,
very good.
very
Very
savage.
throwy.
Yeah.
And I did like the humor of the horse thing, which is a bit ridiculous. Where are these horses? They're not by Central Park. I don't know. There's no horse drawing. I don't know. It was a bit. You kind of suspend your disbelief there about like downtown Manhattan why there's horse carriages, but I thought it was pretty funny how he like got the horse to like kick the guys in the face and stuff.
I was like, they're not gonna do this.
It was funny.
They did it! Oh my god!
They did it multiple times.
It was kind of the breakneck speed of like that first hour.
Breakneck.
Yeah.
The
Get
first hour
punched.
before he became excommunicado, like that whole
Excommunicado.
leading up to that was very like high tension, and like the scene with the sort of doctor, he has to, like, and he has to
That's
like
great.
shoot him and stuff.
Yes,
that was great.
That was the Keymaster from Matrix 2.
There's so many Matrix cameos. God.
Crazy. But yeah, I don't know if I loved the chairman from Iron Chef as well. I don't know if you guys ever saw that show.
Oh, that's why I know.
Mark Discaco's
I don't know.
the
He was
like
goofy.
samurai dude. The guy with
Bald?
the sword. Yeah, the
Yeah.
bald.
Oh,
sushi
interesting.
chef guy.
Interesting.
It was funny that he was a sushi chef because
He's just
the
this
chairman.
guy's a chef in real life?
No, he's like the host of Iron Chef. He's like the chairman. They're like cooking to please the chairman. He's like watching over them. Like, cook.
Interesting. What
Yeah, it's
the
like goofy.
Fuck?
That's
That's weird.
it was funny that he was a sushi chef. Obviously.
Yeah.
But
Goldfish, really
I don't know. His character was hard to. I didn't mind the humor. I don't know. I'm kind of
I
on
liked
the
him.
fence.
There's a plot point that I thought for sure would come around, but it didn't. So I don't know if it's they're holding up for the next one.
Spoiler?
Spoilers.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's a spoiler?
With him, I'm like, oh, I was like, they're gonna do something interesting with this character, and then they didn't. I'm like, that's weird that they didn't do that thing that they set up, but
You'll have to explain it.
it's very odd. It's very
Was it
odd.
something that set up like right in the first scene with him?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I think I know. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I have a lot more to talk about spoiler wise, but overall, I did like the dogs as well.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
was- there was
creative.
very
They're
creative.
just savage. They're just like
They're
tearing
biting
at
dicks.
people.
Ripping
a lot
dicks
of
off.
a lot of dick bites. But yeah, I like the mythos. They keep expanding the mythos. You know, they get the high table and the ballet studio thing, that whole backstory, and not excommunicado, but the thing that they did. They have these great names. You know, like excommunicado is like
Oh, it just hits. It
but
hits hard.
for the hotel itself,
Oh, it gets
deconsecrated or something. great terminology. And like all the different coins and their different levels of meaning and all that whole mythos. I do love that. And there's lots of potential. Obviously, there's a spin-off series for Stars, I think it is, the channel.
Yeah, I
Called
thought
The
I heard that.
Continental, which is
Yeah.
still in production.
Interesting.
And obviously the story is not over. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I do have some issues with it as far as the pacing. Yeah, it can get a little bit monotonous. It got a bit, samey.
It did get samey. Very well, very well said.
In like the third act, it was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, some of the scenes were well choreographed and all that. One thing as well, which sort of popped up right in the very beginning in that Boban fight, like, it's so choreographed, and it's from a distance you can see the choreography.
There was one.
I
for
noticed
some
it a
parts.
lot in the last where he's on not the last fight, but when he's fighting the two guys.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like Keanu just like standing, like waiting
Waiting, yeah.
for like
okay,
them to make a move. Or
But
something.
it's like the arm is down here, like
Yeah.
waiting for the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like in real life you would have been like up like this, like
The whole time.
your arm wouldn't be down here. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and it happened in that first fight where like, and Boban's not a fighter. He's an NBA player, okay? And he
a
did like
giant.
one scene is like, he hasn't really done these scenes, right? But like, dude has massive hands,
Oh.
and he's like not protecting himself when he's like getting like hit in the face.
Right.
I'm like, your hands, you would be like this. You know what I mean? Like.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just the way. It's because there's a choreography to it,
yeah.
and I don't know. Sometimes you can see it, right?
Yeah.
And that was one thing.
It looked like they were counting a couple times. Like 1, 2, here we, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like counting the steps in their head like a dancer or something. Like, and now.
That being said, I'd rather that than the quick cuts.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of,
Disgusting. Yeah, me too.
it's
a trade-off.
It's a trade-off.
I like how we're like
It's just something that I
eviscerating.
noticed.
Like these guys are probably like the best fight coordinators on earth.
No.
Like, well,
I could do
sorry.
better.
I mean, I could see a little bit, a little.
That's not how I would do it.
Mr. Stahelski, whatever the fuck.
But yeah, overall, I liked it. Let's give our ratings and we get into some spoiler talk. I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna go heavy 3.
Oh, we're on light 4.
Oh, shit. Gotta go light 4.
Yes. Yes, Adam.
Very satisfying. But I do have some stuff to bring up.
Fair warning: if you haven't seen John Wick 3: Parabellum,
Parabellum.
check it out in theaters.
Did
Beat
well.
out Endgame.
Ooh, finally.
58 million?
57, 50,
Something.
yeah, something like
That's
that.
crazy.
It's pretty damn good.
Not bad. So stay tuned for John Wick 4.
Get hype.
Um,
JW4.
because they clearly set that up.
Yeah,
Oof.
hugely.
I mean,
Spoiler alert. Let's do it.
obviously, somehow we survived falling off a fucking 30-story building.
Let me step in. This is one of the few things that really, like...
He hit hard.
Yeah.
He splattered.
Not good.
Yeah.
Like, very... Is this based off a comic book?
No.
No, this is
No.
This is the original property, I'm pretty sure.
Well, there it goes. The only chance it had of not getting eviscerated for this. Very comic booky. I hated when he, like, was wheeled to the underground king, Lawrence Fishburne. Like, John. With, like,
yeah, that
like,
was it. Was
so
quite
comic-y.
comic-y. Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
what?
that's true.
Like, it feels like jumping the shark, like, very slowly but surely. This is going to turn into, like, Kick-Ass or something.
Someone had a good comment about that. Like, this will go down as like a solid entry in the John Wick franchise, but it's not gonna get better necessarily.
Yeah.
Like
Like
there's
from
gonna
here
be
out?
worse. There's gonna be worse entries
Yeah.
in the future,
Yeah.
and it's just
That's what it feels like. I feel
It
like
started
it's
with this.
the beginning and the end. Like, then I can just see it coming. Like, they're going to get progressively
100%,
worse.
100%.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
that really bummed me out. Like, when I don't know. And, yeah.
So, let's talk about the setup. So
Yeah.
I guess the Continental is what was it? Deconsecrated for sheltering John, if you will, and giving him an hour. We had the adjudicator, played by Asia Kate Dillon,
Love
who
these
basically
words.
was judging, the adjudicator, all these words, right? Who's judging not necessarily John Wick for breaking the rules, but for everyone who helped him.
Yeah.
And so she was going after Lawrence Fishburne and the Continental, and
That's it.
that's it.
And, what's her face? Angelica Houston.
Yeah, the ballet.
Ballet.
That was her, right?
Yeah, that's
I
Angelica Houston.
knew it.
So basically, they kind of make this deal. So John Wick ends up, he thinks the only way to get out of this is to go to the high table and plead his case. And what can I do, basically?
Yeah.
So he ends up going to the desert with help from, well, Braun doesn't really help him, but Braun tells him what to do, right?
Yeah.
Nice accent as well, different accent.
Yeah. Wow.
And so he goes to the desert in Morocco, I guess, and that's where the high table is. Is that
No,
all
that's the
high
guy
table?
that's the guy that is above the high table.
Oh, the one that sits above
He's
the
a-
high table.
He's the one that sits above the high table, yeah.
Braun or the,
No, the
the desert guy?
desert guy.
The guy
Desert
from
King.
the guy from Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah.
Among other movies, but yeah,
that's fun.
that's what he's been in lately.
Forgot he was in there.
Okay, so he's the one that sits above. So
Yes.
he gives him this. Well, first of all, he has to take off his finger, which I read an article that the director fought for that scene, fought for them to do that. The studio was like, I don't know,
they really
we're
cut
moving
Keanu's finger off?
They're like, that's we got another act of the movie left, and we have to CG
Yeah.
the finger out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's we gotta cut some costs here, guys. Like,
Really? That's
I don't know if
funny.
you can afford this, and the director's like, no, he has to do that to prove his
Loyalty.
loyalty. Yeah. So basically, he was given the task of basically killing Winston, right?
Yep.
And that was the way of sort of getting even. And obviously, they're buddy, right? So
Winston is Ian McShane?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Winston.
So he goes back to Continental, and they have it kind of reminded me of Matrix. I don't know, seeing where the Continental's getting besieged.
Yeah, a little bit like Matrix.
It kind of reminded me of
Oh, yeah.
Matrix.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Like the bank
Classic
scene or
scene,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, it kind of
I
reminded
thought
me.
that I thought they were gonna lean heavy. I thought he was coming out with the trench coat for sure.
He's gonna,
I
slow
swear to
roll
God, I thought they might do it. Yeah,
very much reminded
kind
me
of
of
happy
that.
they resisted the temptation.
And obviously, he doesn't want to kill Winston, and they team up and they fight back. And
Show
obviously,
up.
there's another, how Winston can be not deconsecrated or whatever. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's all the words, man. And so the adjudicator gives him, okay, well, the deal, if you kill John Wick, then you're good, right?
Yeah.
So shoots John Wick. Clearly, he wasn't aiming at the heart or anything.
No,
like that, right?
he knows his suit's bulletproof.
Bulletproof suit.
Yeah.
The old bulletproof suit.
Knocks him off the roof, like fucking tall ass roof. How many stories do you think this is? It's got to be 20,
You fell at
30
least
stories.
20.
Enough
Stories,
to
yeah.
shatter your skeleton.
You're dead, but and that scene of him falling was pretty savage
Yeah.
too. Like I was like, oh shit, he got ravaged, right? Like he hit some things along the way.
Oh.
Like he hit some like metal bars and shit.
He like clanked off a balcony, like clink, and then
fell
and hit the concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be dead.
That was
We got the
cringe.
Lawrence Fishburne all cut up.
Yeah.
When I saw the scene of him getting sliced, I was like, at first I was like, okay, they said 7 slices or 7 cuts,
Yeah.
not slices, 7 cuts. I'm like, okay, he could probably survive that.
That's
And
what I was
they-
thinking
and
too.
yeah, okay, he's fine. It's not like 7 stabs. It's
Yeah.
7,
Cuts.
cuts.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Whatever. The chairman cuts him up, and
Eviscerates him.
I was like, ooh, that's a bit too many cuts.
Yeah.
Might have got the neck there or something, Somehow he lived. I don't know. The homeless people of New York have very good cut immunity.
Yeah. TikTok.
What do you guys think this sets up for the future?
War, man. Full-on war.
Parabellum.
They
Again.
prepared for war in this? I guess this is just Bellum?
Spell him.
Oh shit.
John McFor war? This is
Yeah, it's just gonna be him
What
going
is
to
it
go to
good
town.
for?
essentially.
absolutely everything.
They're gonna be going up to the high table. We'll finally see the high table itself.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
obviously.
cool.
Yeah, we'll be seeing it.
That's
I
that's
like
better.
that.
Now that you explain that that's not the high table. That's
Makes me feel
above the high table. That makes me feel a little bit better because I'm like, that's the high table. It's like, at first I was like, that's not good. That's not cool.
Table's not high at all.
It's not cool
A very
enough.
small table. Yeah.
Like, sure, there's a certain element to hidden in the desert
Yeah.
in a way that's interesting.
That's
but
cool.
It's not as cool as like the Continental
Yeah.
or like that whole system. Like it needs to be like in the basement of like some famous building, like some interesting
It's gonna be
under
crazy.
St. Paul's Cathedral.
It's gonna have a bunch of
you know what I
famous
mean? Like,
old actors probably.
yeah,
That's my guess.
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that at least, but it could go off the rails.
Could go off the rails.
I
Could
don't
get
know.
too wacky.
Too wacky.
Too wacky.
It's gonna get wacky.
What did you guys think of Halle Berry's character? I thought she was.
She's good.
She was good.
She wasn't in it as much as I thought she was going to be in it.
Yeah,
She's
they
kinda-
Surprised.
She came in second act
Yeah.
and exited at
left.
the end of the second act.
Yeah.
Second act.
I feel like the marketing they were like pitching it as like a team up
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
So I was pretty shocked that she left. I liked her contribution. Like we said before, the dog thing was amazing.
Yeah, it was well done.
Anything else you
Yeah.
guys want to mention? It's nice to see. I forget his name, but the concierge guy.
Lance Reddick from The Wire.
Yeah.
And Lost.
In Lost.
What?
Love that guy.
Him just.
What's his name? Character name? We know it.
I just know him as the concierge.
Yeah.
Is that the name of his character?
Probably, yeah.
Is he actually a concierge or did I just make that up?
Yeah.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him pick up a gun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Get
shoot some
busy.
people. That was good. I don't have much else to say.
I did love that scene when he's realizing that he has to only take out the neck because they're body armored, and then he goes back for more firepower.
Yeah, when they go get the shotguns,
Yeah, it was
that
so
was
fun.
that was very good. Yeah,
Like-
I like that.
Ian McShane's just like sipping his wine.
His whiskey or whatever.
You're
Yeah.
back? Yeah, I need more firepower.
But they just they're just so nonchalantly just like, fuck, okay,
Yeah.
they have a shotgun,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh shit.
Like a mechanic working on an engine. He's like, I need the ratchet. Like,
Very workmanlike.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
He just appeared to blow someone's head clean off, I think.
Oh yeah, some hits
Right?
got obliterated.
Some heads got slugged.
But yeah, I liked how, because they realized, like the body armor wasn't working for them to kill them, right? So he had to like move the visor. Yeah, he's shooting the neck, but also like there were
Right.
scenes where he'd like pull the visor back and just like
Like in
blast
the
him
joints,
in the
too?
face.
I
Yeah,
think he's like going like, any little nook and
it
cranny.
was very smart.
Oh, I love
the action
that.
was smart, right?
Very good.
And it's like just so well directed.
It seemed pretty video gamey though, right?
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
the enemies like upgraded, and you have to
Yeah,
like,
pretty much, right?
you have to go
wave.
find the shotgun.
Well, the adjudicator even says, like, that was the first wave. Like, that was, like, right out of a video game.
Yeah.
Wave 1, complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the bosses and at the end of it.
Where's the John Wick game? Why is there no John Wick video game series? Like, get
I mean,
on
we've
it.
already seen it. This is the John Wick.
Right,
game.
sorry.
I think that'll do it for our review of John Wick 3 Parabellum. Tim, where can people find us?
People can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at Upper Lake Podcast. You can find me personally on Letterboxd at Upper Tim and on Instagram at The Craft Pundit.
Nice. You can find me on Twitter at Franny25 and Instagram and Letterboxd at UpRealAdam.
By myself, Scott, on Letterboxd at UpRealScott. As well, if you like this video, leave a like on it, leave a comment below in the comment section, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And as always, keep it real.